What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We are back on what is just an unbelievably busy June 30th. Probably the busiest in Steelers history. Obviously, the news started to break this morning. Jalen Ramsey, now a Pittsburgh Steeler. That was pretty exciting news officially. It was just that the Steelers were acquiring Jalen Ramsey, and then the follow-up, the next shoe fell, is that Minkah Fitzpatrick is a part of that trade going back to Miami, where he was first drafted. Pretty shocked overall initially. At first, really liked the Jalen Ramsey trade. I was thinking like, 6th-round pick, Amari Cooper style, we're just going to steal him. And then we gave up an all-pro that's 2 years younger back, and that really deflated me in terms of the trade and how valuable I thought it really was. And then the second part of it is the Jonnu Smith addition. And then some pick swaps that really don't mean much. We give up a future 5th for a 7th in 2027, which does not affect the 2026 Steelers draft quarterback high draft plans. So that's all intact still. But yeah, just initial gut reaction and thoughts is initially I'm like, sweet, now Ramsey's going to be the nickel guy, and your defense is really, really good looking on paper. And now you have a glaring hole at safety when you didn't really have a glaring hole at corner beforehand. Like Jalen Ramsey was going to be the third guy in that room when you already had Beanie Bishop, Corey Trice, who's unproven but skillful, Eccles that they just signed. Like, there was a lot of moves already made, and then I didn't think you really needed it, but now safety is a glaring weakness, unless, which has started to come out since then, is that Ramsey could play safety now. In nickel formation, he'll go down to the slot, and you got Deshaun Elliott, who's elite, he's amazing, but then your back end guy's going to now be like a Juan Thornhill, or pick another DB that may hang out back there. And then in base sets, Jalen Ramsey's going to be your center fielder now, which I'm still excited that part, but it's just not nearly as good of a trade, obviously, now. There were a lot of talks of the communication issues last year that the Steelers had, and that a lot of people were like, yeah, they're talking about Cam Sutton, or they're talking about Dante Jackson. But in the film, it was a lot of Minkah Fitzpatrick being in the center of a lot of those touchdowns or big plays given up where he's chasing along. And that was a lot of part of the issues. And so, he made a major impact his first couple of years, became the highest paid safety, and then the last 2 seasons he has not played up to the bill. And I don't think that's an overstatement by any means. He was still good, but he was not the Minkah that we had come accustomed to early in his Pittsburgh career. And whether this was going to be the year that he returned to form, no one's going to know now, at least in a Pittsburgh uniform. But yeah, it's just wild. Not something I think I was waking up to today. They're not trading TJ Watt. I still don't think that's going to happen. Although I'll say I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody does, I think, at this point in time. Their offseason has been so scattershot. It's hit or miss. Nobody knows anything, and I really don't know what to think anymore. But I still don't see that happening. TJ Watt's going to retire a Steeler. He was drafted there. He played there for 10 years. Minkah wasn't drafted there, and although he was a really good piece of the defense, he wasn't a legacy Steeler guy. So maybe that's where you draw the line. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but yeah, we will see how this all plays out. Are they going to sign Justin Simmons, free agent? That I think could cheaply fill the hole nicely, and now you're kind of back into the position of our defense is still looking good, and it's still looking good on paper, but it's just how does it all fit together now is going to be a real conversation and a real issue, especially early in the season, more likely, where you're just going to have some issues on the back end. But we'll see. I mean, Darius Slay, Ramsey, they've been around for quite some time now. Those are proven guys, so much different type of team that they're building right now. But I'm also a proponent of, too, they've tried for many, many years to put this team into the playoffs and win a playoff game, and now they're trying something different, and you got to give your hats off to that. At least Omar Khan, they're trying something different than what the Steelers have done in the past, because clearly that hasn't worked. So Whether it was the right or wrong decision, you can argue all day, but at least they're trying. And we will ultimately see how this shakes out. But grand scheme of things, it looks as though the Steelers are going all in for 2024 or 2025. 2025, 2026. And we'll see what kind of reset button they hit after the season, what the season ends up looking like. But they have their pieces they want to build around for the future. But again, as I've said on these videos, the future of the Steelers is not on the team yet, and he will be in the 2026 draft, and it will be very, very early. So with that all being said, stay tuned for a future episode coming here shortly about who that may be, or who are some guys that may likely be in an upcoming QB scouting video. But until then, pretty shocking news that I don't think anybody saw coming. I don't think you can argue that the team is better on paper, but the offseason's not over. You sign a Justin Simmons, you fit some pieces in. I think you can make the argument that the team's better on paper than it was last year on the defensive side of the ball for this argument. And we will see where that takes us. Until then, comment down below your initial thoughts on the trade. If you think it helped the Steelers, if you think it hurt the Steelers. Are the Steelers better now than they were yesterday? Let me know down in the comments below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe for more Party Chat Sports content. And happy 4th of July. It's coming up soon. Peace.